Ready, set. What is going on, guys? Joey Franzo here with Flex Training Systems. 36 million in the Twitch chat, and Amanda. Today, we're going to talk about Amanda's perfect meet that she had. She had a perfect meet, 9 for 9, broke records. Everything was great. If you guys want to see the full video with the audio and everything, it's in the description down below. Many of you don't know that Amanda has a YouTube, and hopefully this will let you know that she does. I was really proud of Amanda because of where she came from, like what she had been through before. I think I have it here. So I inherited Amanda. I met Amanda at 2018 Raw Nationals. She was very nice. She competed at the SPD, you know, lots of reds, but she had potential. And then we started working together shortly after this meet. Then she became IPF World Champion. Only missed one lift. At Raw Nationals, we were a little aggressive. Just bench really was the weird thing. But we hadn't hit a 9 for 9 day yet. And this meet that she just did, the Gainesgiving Open, was just kind of like a culmination of, you know, our time working together and just paying off and taking all the cues and taking all the technique work and, you know, the countless times of me telling her, like, we need to make sure we hit depth, and taking her out of heels and putting her into flats and working on bench pauses and, you know, long holds on deadlift and just putting everything together to come up with this perfect meet. You know, if you wanna round it between these two, it's around 50 kilos. Add it there, right? If you want to go, because obviously we started building from this point. So, you know, an example of someone with potential, someone that is at a base very strong, and then just continuing to push her, not only in execution but in just like strength, right? So strength and execution, to levels that have never before been hit. And anytime you work with the lifter for a long period of time, and it pays off like that, it's very rewarding to put in the time, put in the work, and then you're constantly working on things, you're refining. Even though you're winning worlds, even though you're winning meets, you're not getting complacent, you're not getting you know, we're not satisfied with doing well. We want to achieve something that is maybe not achievable, right? You want to, even if you're perfect, you want to try to improve on that. Like, she had this meet, which was, you know, it was pretty perfect. How can we be even better than that? So there's always somewhere to improve. I do think it's important to kind of take a second to appreciate the progress you've made, be happy, you know, celebrate, do all those things. But in the sport of powerlifting, maybe not in Amanda's case, you never know. But there's always someone that is like working to try to catch you, right? It's like always pressure. So, you know, you don't want to ever get like super complacent or super lax, because, you know, obviously you could get caught. I mean, things can happen. Sometimes it's out of your control. But when you're at the top, you know, some lifters, like I've had lifters in the past, they might win a meet and say, all right, I'm going to go do something else. But for me, it's like, if you're already at the top, why not do things that haven't been done before? Continue to push that barrier, continue to push that limit, you know? And that's what Amanda's been doing. You know, I will tell you that when I first got here, we had to break a lot of bad habits. We had to break a lot of, you know, I mean, you guys can see this in her the previous Coach's Corner I did, but and that's one thing about my channel, is you can go back and look at all these lifters, right, that you guys know, and you can see when I was talking about, hey, we need to work on these things. Oops, we need to work on these things. We need to implement these things. And then you can see us implement those things and actually apply it and actually show up, and then see, you know, all the things that I was talking about at the first meet. We integrate everything, training. This is why I tell people you have to send me videos every time you train. Even some guy, like I had a girl today, new girl, she's like, am I being annoying? I'm like, no, you're not being annoying, because I might be a broken record sometimes. Like, I might constantly be telling you, hey, you need to squat deeper, hey, you need to squat deeper. And you might know that you need to squat deeper. You know it, right? But I'm going to tell you anyway. I don't care who you are. I don't care how strong you are, how much clout, none of that. I have to do my job and tell the truth. I just have to tell the truth. And eventually, shout out to the guy with the sparkle mask. I just saw that. Wow, it's very distracting. Oh, they all have sparkle masks. That's crazy.
Oh my God, I'm nuts!
Thank you for the follow CT scheme. Sorry I get sidetracked. I have to just be honest with people, and it doesn't matter who you are. I will always tell you the truth, and I will always it's natural for me. My gut will always tell me, hey, you need to tell Amanda. Now that we're in flats, we need to widen our stance a little bit more. Turn the toes out. Make sure you get your hips back. Let your knees get forward as much as they need to, but keep that bar over midfoot. Brace your core. Hit depth. You can tell right here. You can tell when someone hits depth. Usually, you literally see their hips dunking behind their knees, if that makes sense. Let me see if I can pause it. So it's around this part where, let me see. God, the quality. You can literally see her like come down, and then her knees kind of come forward even more because she's created enough space for her to actually sit down, get the hips below the top of the knee, and actually get depth. And I believe we took, you guys can see the attempts in the video. This is 564, and everything that we did. Like I always say, you never want to go 100% all out, right? There's a little bit more there. She probably could have gone up. We have chips to play with, so we probably could have gone up a little bit more. But you never want to. If you put on 100% of your strength on the bar, right? There is a chance that something technical could go wrong. It's almost like a 50-50. Like, have you ever seen someone take a lift and then they miss it and then they do the same weight again and then they get it? Why would you play that gamble when you could just drop it down a tiny bit and sort of almost guarantee your success, right? It's far too big of a risk, especially a third squat in a meet. Again, Amanda's technique, it's like the same. It's just repetition over and over and over, just constantly checking in, constantly sending me videos, and then just refining everything and making it this final package with what it is, today. That was like really, really easy. I've already done a couple preps with her, so peaking Amanda is not hard. We opened relatively light for her. And I will say, and Amanda, if you're in chat still, I'm not looking at the moment, but if you are still in chat, just remember, coming into this meet, she was a little beat primarily in deadlifts. Just her hips were feeling kind of roasted. But it all paid off on the day, right? And that is just having that foresight, understanding, okay, I know where we need to be, based on where we are from competition, and then just doing what you need to do so that on the day you can be strong and your training can actually pay off, right? If you time it right, you're going to be strong right on the day and you're going to blow everything up. Depending on the lifter, that margin, the margin of error will be greater or smaller. You can taper a little early and you won't lose much. You could taper a little, at the last minute and be fine. But for some people, it's going to be right on the money. And if you do a day before or after that, you're going to miss the mark. So I think she peaked perfectly. I think, she could have hit a little bit more. She did cut, but this is perfect. Anytime you can take your own American record, that's a good day. So, yeah, a lot of growth, just a lot of growth and time and effort and everything culminating to this really solid day here. I'll let you guys watch it one more time, and then we'll look at bench. But yeah, and really quickly, since everyone's this is the most famous topic, right? People want to talk about her knees coming in. I'm gonna say this here. And then I'm hopefully never have to say it again. When your knees do that, it's because your body is searching for power. Squatting and pushing your knees out when you hit the sticky can help kind of build the outside of that, and it's going to kind of mitigate it a little bit. For some people, you could simply turn your feet out and your knees are going to come forward and they're not going to cave in, and it's going to just look different and you're not going to notice it, right? But for somebody like Amanda, most of you watching this video do not have knees that are as strong as Amanda's. Do not have muscle like Amanda. You guys, she's not in pain. There's nothing that hurts her. She can do this over and over and over with big weight, more weight than most people are ever going to lift, and she's not going to have any problems. And she's going to continue to do that. She actually squats very similar to me. Her legs are a little bit longer than mine, like relatively, but her knees are coming in here, but it's like is really not that bad. I know. I mean, I know it can look bad in that position, but that's just her body searching for power. She is actively trying to push out, so it's not like her knees are gonna like snap in or anything like that. And she's fine. She literally feels nothing. Literally no pain, none of that. I don't know many people. Um, like it's funny if you ask someone why is it bad that your knees cave in, they're gonna be like, I don't know. I just see people talk about it, and it's like, well, try to find out why. Is there pain? Have you tried doing different things and it still happens? Like, there's some people. For example, I deadlift with a round back, right? There's other people that are way stronger than me on deadlift that deadlift with a super round back. If you try to deadlift with a round back, you're gonna be in the hospital, right? You're done. You're out of here. You're gone, buddy. You're donezo, right? I deadlift with the round back. It's years of me training that way. It's what happens when the bar gets heavy. I have a super long torso in relation to where, like, my shoulder joint and my hip joint are far away from each other. So in order to create better leverage, rounding can shorten that distance, right? If some people lift like that, they're going to get hurt. You need to have a back of steel, right? You need to have knees of steel, and you might be able to get away with it. It's really not that big a deal. It only happens, for a very brief moment on a heavy third attempt. And if she doesn't have any pain, I literally, I would just like mind your business and try not to worry about it too much. That being said, on to the bench press. The bench is the lift that Amanda would probably agree that she needed the most work on just from a technical standpoint. We've been hammering. Got to keep the hips down, open the legs and get your feet back behind you. Create that stable base on the bench. I'm going to tell you guys a major secret right now. By the way, 265, 120 kg. I believe she failed 122 at Nationals. So she's literally almost opening with her third from Nationals. So, progress. Anyway, the bench press is the lift where if you are not consciously and actively like squeezing the bar, flexing every muscle in your body and trying to get as tight as possible. Like for example, for me, I can make 440 feel pretty heavy, or I can make it feel like nothing depending on how tight I can get on the bench. So if I brace super hard and I'm squeezing the bar and I'm flexing my glutes and I'm flexing my abs and everything, and I take a big breath and I really push up against my belt because I bench with the belt, I can make that weight feel like nothing. I literally don't even feel it. I've hit third attempts in meets and not felt it because I was able to generate enough tension and force to sort of break through that sticking point, right? The way I like to think of it is like you want to exert more force from your setup than is required to actually lift the weight, right? You just want to be like think of like a cannon that's mounted to that's bolted to the ground, right? You're the foundation, you're the legs, you're holding it up. So when you fire that cannon, you want to make sure it doesn't rock back. If your hips are jumping and things like that, you're losing power. There is very minimal hip movement. Like I said, she has long legs, and you got to put those legs somewhere. You got to get them out of the way. So it is going to be difficult at times. I mean, so I'm not even perfect. Like sometimes my hips move a tiny bit. I would say that was much better, minimal movement there. And yeah, just seeing her get all three benches. And let me see, what kind of bench is it? Is it a fat pad? No, it's not at all. Okay, so yeah, really good benches here from Amanda. Like I said, when you have a lift that's like a problem lift, or the lift that is lagging behind your other lifts, and it can actually show progress and improve, and just you put in all the work, literally hours and hours and hours and hours of refinement, and then it pays off. It's such a rewarding thing, right? Let Amanda be an example to people watching. Like, hey, if you have a lift that you think is not good, or just from a technical standpoint, or just strength-wise, whatever, if you keep working on it, this is like literal living proof that you can improve it. I think she had a little bit more in the tank there, which is really exciting. PRs for next time. And yeah. I will say also that Amanda was really good about when I asked her for numbers, she was really good about like picking smart numbers and not saying things that were gonna make me like whoa, like Like, these numbers are like astronomical. There's nothing in your training that would indicate that we could even do this. Not at all. Not only as a lifter on the platform, but mentally, she has improved just so much in terms of being honest with herself, being realistic with expectations, not saying like, "Hey, Joy, I want to deadlift 600." I know she wants to deadlift 600, but we have to be smart. We have to, take those records, take what's there on the day, and just sort of um, incrementally improve. Especially in her position, you're beating yourself, right? You're competing against yourself, so you just want to incrementally do what you need to do um, to improve on your previous numbers. Also, her grip was not good when we first started working together. If you see where the bar is, how it's in her palm and it's not in her fingers, that's how I like to coach it. Let's see if it actually... It might get down into the fingers, but it's not all the way. She has like... I can tell she doesn't have super long fingers, so if it got down into the fingers, like some people, literally, the bar's not even... if you were to do like an x-ray, their knuckles would be above the bar completely, because the bar's just like sitting in their fingers, right? Some people are not going to be able to get away with that, and that's why you're going to have to use your forearm, use your palm, use your fist, and really grab the bar. And it's one of those things where like it just takes repetition, but you can lock it down. So she was very aware coming in that I was like hyper hawking her grip. I was looking at that grip like, on that first and second attempt, if I see anything, I'm going to tell you to squeeze it hard anyway, right? We got to make sure it doesn't slip. Notice how when she sets up, she's kind of like securing the bar deep up against her thumb, right? If she can hold it, she doesn't have the biggest hands. If she can hold it, then a lot of you guys can. You know what I mean? It's not really going anywhere. Pretty solid there. Very happy with her grip. Seriously. Her grip was not a strong point, and now it is. Her existence is a testament to just what happens when you have good preparation, and when you put in the work, and when you listen, and when you check the ego, and you... Oh, by the way, Amanda, if you're still here, P was messaging me saying... Like, you wait to the last minute to tighten your belt, which is funny. Like, if you watch the belt, she's like getting set up, and you're like, oh, wait, is she gonna forget? Big 573 here, huge milestone. I was so happy with this. Like, her grip was solid, everything just coming in, perfect day, 9 for 9. I initially wanted 261. But for some reason, they put it in and then took it out. I don't know why. Something was going on at the table. Maybe a miscommunication. But I will take an unofficial world record, American record. The reason why you don't want to miss the chips is because if you do have a competitor, you're going to like force them to take an attempt that's higher than what they need to take. So being a good sportsman, going up and shaking the hands of all the judges. Again, if you guys want to see the full video, just hear her commentary and everything. It's like a teaser, right? It just makes you want to hear what she's saying. Here's the full breakdown. This is actually really nicely well done. Shout out to Amanda's editor. But yeah, really, really, really good day. I believe she has the highest. She's the strongest by formula and just by total and everything. Female across males and females, I believe. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Definitely biggest total by a female in 2020. Really proud of you. Super, super, super just like grateful that she listens. Thankful for her just putting in the work. She communicates, she's not afraid to ask questions. And she wants to get better. If I say like, hey, I think it's better to get on kilos or whatever, she'll just get the kilos. She'll get the, I think she just got an Alico rack to like practice on the Alico rack. And that's just, we make time and effort for things that are important to us. And if we can't get it yet, then we work towards getting there. And, for as serious as a lifter as Amanda, that's what you got to do to just stay ahead, right? Just make sure you're doing everything that you can to stay on top. I should briefly mention she did cut for this. It was not that bad of a cut. I mean, she woke up and she was a little heavy, but we just sweat it out. No problem. I would rather you sweat it out and compete. Like, let's say you had a meet where you were competing later in the day, and you could like pace yourself and chill, hitting a little bit of sauna here and there, is not going to affect your strength at all because you can put all that back instantly. You really start to destroy your total when you cut carbs. Like if you're really cutting carbs and it exceeds what you need to recover, you're going to be kind of flat on the day, and then you're kind of screwed at that point. But anyway, she did really good. She cut the weight. I think she cut like 6 pounds, something like that. But yeah, she did great. Really proud of you, Amanda. Again, guys, you can go back. You can look at her last Coach's Corner and then the one before that, and you can literally see when we talk about implementing changes, actually implementing the changes, and then the improvements across each meet. So that's kind of why I like documenting these things. Check out her channel down below. Amanda, I'm really proud of you. Many more adventures ahead.
Oh my God!
Thank you for the follow, Yumi. And yeah, that's it, guys. Let me get a hashtag. Something nice about Amanda. You can say hashtag Go Amanda, hashtag strongest girl, hashtag strongest female, hashtag Go, whatever you guys want to do that in the comments down below. Go show her video love, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.